Many of them were scared or too dazed to talk to us, and because of their young age, many of them were unable to spell their names, did not know their birth dates, or even their parents' names. Several said "mama" when they were asked what their name was.
Can you imagine? Doctors in Tennessee describe terrified children and the heartbreaking aftermath of a school bus crash that claimed 5 young lives in Chattanooga last night. Well, right now, Fox 5 is live in Tennessee, where a memorial service is underway for the children who died in that terrible crash, and a live report is moments away. But we begin with new information on the crash investigation. We have new information from police and doctors tonight.
Well, first, police confirmed the school bus driver, 24-year-old Jonathan Walker, is in custody and faces vehicular homicide charges. 5 children died in the crash, and of the 12 still hospitalized, 6 are in critical condition, 6 more are in stable condition. Tonight, the driver's mother is speaking out in defense of her son. She says he is devastated by what's happened.
My son called me as soon as it happened.
What did he say?
He said, "I love you, Mom. I've been in a domestic accident on the bus. While he was trying to get the kids off the bus, blood was everywhere, body levels everywhere. He was explaining, and the phone disconnected. That was at 3:20 yesterday. And I was texting him because I couldn't get in touch with him. And then he texted me. And he said, "Mom, the kid's dead. I hope it's not my fault."
We have team coverage in Chattanooga tonight with our George Franco standing by live, but we begin this evening with Fox 5's Deidre Dukes.
And Deidre, police are working to determine fault tonight, and they say they need the public's help, right?
And they certainly do. They do want the public's help, and we will have more on that in a moment. I'm joining you live from Erlanger Hospital here in Chattanooga. The lead doctors in this case wrapping up a brief news conference just a short time ago. They had high praise for what they said were the hundreds of first responders and medical staff who responded in this crisis, who worked tirelessly to save those young lives.
At one point, we think we had 800 family members in our hospital.
The immediate crisis now passed. Doctors at Erlanger Hospital provided patient updates and detailed their role in helping victims and their families in the hours after the crash.
We also had that responsibility to notify those whose children had died in the bus crash.
NTSB investigators arrived in Chattanooga early Tuesday morning, first visiting the accident scene before heading to Chattanooga Police Headquarters to begin going over the mangled wreckage for anything that might point to the cause of Monday's deadly wreck.
It was just so horrible.
Elise Martin heard the horrific crash. The school bus plowed into a tree in front of her house Monday afternoon.
I heard him, that bus driver, hit that tree. He must have been going fast, because I heard the children, when I opened up my door, they was crying, you know, and I looked over there. I'm like, oh my God.
37 children from Woodmore Elementary School were on board the bus when it crashed, flipping on its side. The students ranged in age from kindergarten through 5th grade. Authorities reporting early Tuesday that 5 children were killed, 6 critically injured. 12 remained hospitalized. 24-year-old bus driver Jonathan Walker was arrested, charged with 5 counts of vehicular homicide, reckless endangerment, and reckless driving. Police officials say no other vehicle was involved in the crash and believe he was driving too fast.
I just really wanted to be near the scene to just pray and just ask God to hold those families in.
Deborah Shaw came to the crash site to pay her respects. Like so many others in the close-knit community, she learned she had a personal connection to the tragedy. Some of the victims' families attend her church.
I pray for those mothers and fathers that sent their kids to school and waited on them, and they didn't come home. And now as many of us gather around the Thanksgiving table to be thankful, they're gathering at the funeral.
During a media briefing this afternoon, NTSB officials said they expect to spend about a week in Chattanooga reviewing the physical evidence and getting statements from victims and witnesses.
We have not spoken to the families yet, but that is part of what we are here to do, is to provide assistance to the families of who lost loved ones in this crash.
And And we're also told the NTSB chairman there is saying that they have not spoken yet with the school bus driver. We did learn today that he received his commercial license in April. As part of the investigation, we're told that the investigators will review video from 2 cameras that were on the bus, as well as an electronic engine control module to see what, if anything, any type of evidence they can gather any information there. They do expect that they'll be here for about a week before returning to D.C. to go over all of the information that they've gathered. And they said it could take up to a year before they'll have the final results and can say exactly what happened here. But they do say this is a 2-pronged investigation, that, of course, a criminal investigation is also ongoing. That's the latest here in Chattanooga. I'm Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
And the technology on that bus will be helpful. Deidre, thanks very much. Well, right now, families in this shell-shocked community are grieving and praying together for all the children who were lost in that terrible crash. And we continue our team coverage now with Fox 5's George Franco, who's live outside tonight's memorial service.
And George, this community has just been hit so hard by this tragedy.
Russell, today absolutely hit very hard by this tragedy. We're at New Monumental Baptist Church in Chattanooga, where, as you can see behind me, there are still people streaming into this memorial service that got underway at 6 o'clock or so, but continues to get underway as people start and continue to keep streaming in. Let's go to the video, show you a little bit more of what we're talking about. This memorial service comes after a day of mourning and counseling services at Woodmore Elementary School, where the students were leaving when the accident occurred, with 5 killed and nearly 2 dozen taken to the hospital and several children still in intensive care. The pastor here told me it's important to have a place for the community to come together to unite. He says this kind of grieving goes beyond social class, race, or occupation. Pastor Roderick Ware also says the reaching out started before the memorial service directly to those involved.
We have children right now fighting for their lives. So they have been ministers at the hospital. We've been down at the school, and we tried to get in everywhere we could, but it's an ongoing process for us right now. But yes, we have been in touch and tried to offer whatever prayers and support that we could. When you see children die and the way they died and how they died, it touches all of us in a way that nothing else could have brought this community together like this.
And clearly this community has been touched by the death of these children, by the children injured by the way. They've all come together tonight at this memorial service. The pastor says that the healing will continue long after this service is over, in the days, weeks, and months ahead, as this community continues to embrace each other. Reporting live tonight in Chattanooga, I'm George Franco, Fox 5 News.
All right, thank you, George. Well, a former